Hi guys, I hope that you're all having a fabulous day. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with another The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, a series where I share updates on handbags and small leather goods. As always, I will be adding timestamps and I'll pin it as the first comment. That way you guys can go to whichever part of the video you are interested in seeing first. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you do, make sure and give it a thumbs up. And without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Alright, so let's begin with a bag. The first bag is the Givenchy Ophidia medium-sized tote. This is in the blue denim with the brown leather. So Givenchy currently has the Ophidia tote in a variety of different colors. However, this particular one has since been discontinued because this was a seasonal line. And I've had this bag for about 2 years now, and I gotta say, it is still going strong. It is a bag that I constantly reach for. It is in heavy rotation within my collection, and it's honestly one of my favorite totes as well, just because it is so incredibly comfortable, it is so easy to use, and not to mention how insanely spacious it is. Now, I gotta admit, at first, when I first saw the denim, I've always been a sucker for denim. Like, I love denim. I think denim bags are beautiful, but I'm always a little bit apprehensive just because with denim, sometimes you really don't know how it's going to wear. You know what I mean? Sometimes it can look really beat up. It can look really dingy in a short amount of time. So I was a little bit worried. And this, I think, has aged pretty well considering how often I use it. Now, when I first got it, the denim was a lot brighter, and it doesn't necessarily look beat up. It doesn't look dingy, but the GGs were a little bit brighter before. But at the same time, I don't think it looks bad. I think it looks good. You know what I mean? And I think that this bag is amazing. Like I said, the simplicity of it, how spacious it is just absolutely fantastic. And I also like that this bag, even though it has increased in price a bit since I purchased it, it still doesn't break the bank. And I think that it offers you a lot of bang for your buck compared to other totes out there that are maybe double the price that maybe aren't as easy to use. But I absolutely love this bag. Now, you guys will notice that I do have an organizer in here because if I don't have an organizer, it turns into a beautiful mess. I mean, look at that. But what do you expect with this denim, right? But I do have an organizer in here, and this is from Samorga. I did reach out to them and I asked them if they can custom make one because they had one on their website. And the one that they had on their website was a little too short, and I wanted it to be a little bit closer to where the leather ends, just so that it will wear a little bit better as time goes by. And they were incredibly gracious. They did that for me, and this has been fantastic. So without this, I mean, sometimes I'll wear it without an organizer, but otherwise I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't want the bag to necessarily flop over, even when it is full, you know? So this has been a major, major game changer. I also wanted to do a quick handbag tour without the organizer. So on the front side, you don't have any pockets. You have the GG with the gold hardware. There is a side view. There is a back view, no exterior pockets. There's another side view. On the bottom, you do have the brown leather, no feet, and you also have some leather caps on the corners as well. And as far as the interior goes, you do have that magnetic closure, and it opens up like so. And as I said, you do have one zippered compartment on one side, one slip pocket on the other, and that's all she wrote. One of the details that I really love about this tote is this magnetic closure. I know that I've talked about this many of times throughout the last couple of years, but it is amazing because it is so incredibly sturdy. It's not the type of magnetic closure that's just going to pop open on its own, which I think is fantastic. Now, I know that a lot of people aren't too fond of this type of tote because it doesn't really have a lot of security. It doesn't have a zippered closure, and I know that some of you have said that that would have been game changer for you. If it had this type of zipper closure, it would have been like a no-brainer. So I completely understand that, especially if you are commuting to work and you want that added security. I can understand why you would want that zipper. But for me personally, I do like to have my totes a little bit more open. I want that easy access, and this has been fantastic. I've used it for work, I've used it for every day, running errands, what have you, and it is such a joy to use. Now these handles here, or these shoulder straps, I really like the length on them as well. I don't feel that it's too short, even if I am using a coat or if I have a jacket. It doesn't feel like it's too tight. It doesn't feel like the leather is rubbing on my armpit either. So I still have a generous strap drop, and I really like how how these shoulder straps are as well, because they're not too skinny. They're not too thin, and they're not too wide either. So they don't dig into my shoulder. They don't dig into my skin. I can use this bag for extended periods of time, no problem. Not only that, because it does have a little bit of, it's a little bit wider, it doesn't roll off of my shoulder either, which if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you know that I struggle with totes because of my shoulders. Sometimes I end up just kind of falling right off, and that drives me nuts, you know, because I don't want to have to sit there and have to hold, like, prop my bag on my shoulder, you know. I want to be able to be hands-free. So I really like the fact that these don't roll off of my shoulder whatsoever, and they're just insanely comfortable. But all in all, I think that this is a great bag. As I've said, I've had no issues with wear and tear, no pop stitches. The leather hasn't wrinkled, it doesn't look funky. I mean, this bag pretty much looks like the day that I got it, except for the fact that, as I said before, the denim isn't as bright as when I first got it. And I also haven't experienced a lot of pilling on this denim either. I thought that maybe you would start to see those little balls, those little fuzzies everywhere, just again, because of how often I use it. And so far, so good. I think I have maybe one or two along the sides, not too bad. I mean, you would honestly think, like I would think, that this bag would look super beat up because of what I put it through. And usually with my totes, especially my totes, I'm a lot harder on them just because I expect a lot more of them. I want a workhorse. And this has been a pleasant surprise because I didn't really expect that when it came to the denim. Like, I wouldn't think that, you know what I mean? I think that the denim would be like really bad, really bad. It would age terribly, but that definitely hasn't been the case. But I love this bag. I think it's amazing. And this leather bottom is just, it's wonderful. So I guess one of the biggest cons would be that it turns into that beautiful mess. But as far as everything else, I think that this bag offers a whole lot, especially for the price point. So I am super, super happy that I was able to add this beauty to my collection, and that it's also been wearing fantastic for as long as I've had it. Moving on to the Saint Laurent bill pouch. This is in the red pebbled leather with the silver hardware. So I've had this for a little over a year and a half now, and I absolutely love it. I have to admit that when I first saw it, it was definitely the color that sucked me in. We all know how I feel about red, especially pebbled leather from Saint Laurent. And I love the silver hardware, especially because I think that with most of the small leather goods in my collection, or even the handbags in my collection, they tend to be gold hardware. So when I find silver and it's paired with red, I think it's amazing. But this shade of red is perfection. It's not like orangey red. It's not, you know, too dark either. It is legit like the perfect red. But anywho, so with this item, even though the name states bill pouch, you should, and I say that very loosely, you should use it as you would a wallet maybe, with your, you know, with your cash. But you guys know how I roll. I do like to add versatility to my small leather goods, and I like to incorporate them different ways. Now, I have used this as a cosmetics case. I don't necessarily recommend that because it is very slender. And when you start to put your lipsticks in here, let me just show you, or if you have a powder in here, it can get really bulky really quickly. So I have 3 lipsticks in here, and if I go to close it, I can close it, but I have some lumps and bumps, and it doesn't really make sense to use it this way, at least not to me. But I do like using it as a catch-all for some other slender items, or I like to use it for the other contents of my wallet if I'm carrying a flat card holder. Now, another reason why I don't recommend it for cosmetics either is because it does have the fabric lining, and if you were to get, you know, powder on there or lipstick stains or what have you, it's going to stay in the interior. It's not going to be very easy to clean up. But let me just give you guys a really quick tour of it. So on the front side, you just have the YSL logo, and you have one little slip pocket in the front that is quite generous. On the back side, it doesn't have any zippers, and then you do have the top zip closure that you guys saw, and this is what we have going on. You have the black fabric and lining, and then one little slip pocket there. So I think that for a bill pouch, it is pretty generous in size. It is pretty generous when you go to open it. I don't think that it's too restricting. I don't think that it's too small either. There have been times that, as I said before, I do prefer to use this as another addition to what I need in my wallet, especially if I am carrying that flat card holder. But I've also been able to fit my phone in here. My phone fits in here a lot better without a case. I feel like I can really maximize my space that way. So I'll put my phone in here, I'll put my phone in the main compartment, and I'll put maybe my key fob. So as a catch-all, I think it works, but it really depends on what you want to carry in here. If you have those really thick, bulky items, obviously it's going to get really wonky really quickly, and you're not going to really be able to maximize your space. I have had zero issues with wear and tear. You guys know how I feel about Saint Laurent's pebbled leather. I'm not going to go into it because I sound like a broken record by now, but no pop stitches. The varnish is intact. Even the hardware I don't really have any hairline scratches on it either. But I love these bill pouches. They do have another style that has a little clip on here with a little leather strap. That way you can use it as a wristlet, which I think is really nice. But I like the simplicity of this. I like the fact that I'm able to fit it in my medium-sized bags, my large-sized bags, and because it is quite slender, I'm able to, once again, maximize my space. My gosh, I say maximize my space so much on my channel, but that's really the best way that I can put it. I know, all right? I know I sound like a broken record. Anyways, yeah, I think that these are great. This is a seasonal color as well. I picked this up at the Saint Laurent outlet, as I said, about a year and a half ago. And I paid, I want to say it was $289, a little under 300 bucks, which I got some really great savings considering that it has gone up in price a bit. But I think that these are wonderful. And as far as durability goes, I think they're amazing. I think that this would be fantastic to use for travel, especially if you have your passports in here, if you have whatever it is. I think that this would be great, again, because it is so slender and you can really get away with using this in pretty much all of your bags. Question, do you guys like it when I do the quick handbag tour on these items? Let me know in the comment section down below. All right, moving on to the Givenchy Antigona in the small size. This is in the black grain leather and the silver hardware. So I've had this bag for 6 years. Now, even though this isn't a handbag that is in heavy rotation anymore, when I use this bag reminds me of like a good leather jacket. You know, it sits at the back of your closet, but when you go to pull it out, when you go to use it, it just feels so comfortable. It feels like someone's giving you a hug. It feels like a friend that you haven't seen in a while. And you guys just kind of start right back up where you left off. That is how I feel with the Givenchy Antigona. I love this bag. I think that this is now what I would consider a forever bag, but it's amazing. It is held up unbelievably well. I mean, when I first got it, I couldn't put it down for the first few years. It was in constant rotation and it has held up insanely well. I don't have a single pop stitch. I don't have any funky wear on the corners or anything along those lines. I mean, when I tell you it is worn fabulously, I mean it is worn fabulously well, especially for as long as I've had it and what I have put this bag through. At least in the beginning, because like I said, I don't really use it too often now. But I think that this bag it's fantastic. And I would love to get this same size, if not maybe the mini, in a beautiful red, no surprise there, or even like a baby pink. I think that would be fantastic. But I love the Antigona line, and I know that it's not as popular now. And to me, this is a classic. This is a staple to the fashion house. When I think of Givenchy, I automatically think of the Antigona, and that's just the way that I feel about it. But it is incredible. I have used it for work, I have used it for every day, what have you, and it is just such a joy to use. It does come with a removable strap. The strap is not adjustable. I know that some people have said that that's kind of a deal breaker for them just because it doesn't have the adjustments. It is the whole one size fits all. But I do like the fact that that you can remove it altogether. But I don't really use this strap either. I like to use it kind of like a decoration just because I think it looks a lot better. I prefer to use this bag as a hand carry or on the crook of my arm, even when it's fully loaded. Hang on. like so. I just love the way that that looks. It looks like such a Billy Badass type of bag. I don't know. Does that even make sense? Probably not. But I think it's wonderful. Plus the fact that you can remove it and use a different strap, I think is wonderful. Now I will have to be completely honest with this handbag. It can get quite heavy on its own because it is a fully leathered bag. Although on the interior you do have the fabric lining, and I'll get into that in just a second. It's a little heavy. It's not too bad, but once you start to fit everything in here, it can make for a pretty heavy bag. Like you can feel the weight, but even with that said, I don't feel that it's too heavy. Sometimes I do push the envelope. We all know this. And when that happens, then I will get marks on my hand. But again, that's just me because I like to put a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. So I just had to be completely transparent about that because even though I like it, it can get quite heavy. All right, so let me give you guys a really quick tour of it. So on the front side, obviously you guys can tell that I did add a Louis Vuitton luggage tag to it with the Scorpio and my name. But on the front side, very simple. It has the Givenchy little triangle at the top. There is a side view. There's a back view, no exterior pockets, another side view. On the bottom, you don't have metal feet, but you do have leather feet. And these have held up insanely well too, because it doesn't have, I mean, they don't have like gnarly scratches either. And I have put this bag on bricks, on a concrete, what have you. And so far, so good. So on the top, you do have a zippered closure. You have this fantastic chunky zipper. This is honestly one of my favorite details of the bag. This beautiful chunky zipper. You also have those two D-rings for the strap, and it opens up like so. And on the inside, you have one zippered compartment on one side, and then you also have two slip pockets on the other, and then the fabric lining. Now, one thing you guys will notice are these handles. These handles can also get in the way when you're, retrieving your items, or if you're at the checkout. Sometimes they'll get stuck if I am using a larger size wallet, so I have to put that out there as well. Is it annoying? Not necessarily, but if I'm in a rush, it's like, I have to move them off to the side. So yeah, I guess you could say it is annoying. It can be annoying. But this zipper, it is a little bit closer, and there have been times that I have scratched my hand. It's not too bad. It's not like it's gonna leave any type of gnarly marks, but again, it's not a very generous opening as far as leaving it open. You can't see everything at a glance. If someone's trying to look in your bag, it has a little bit more security that way. But if you have it just like so, and if you're at the checkout trying to get your items, if you have big rings, they can get caught on the zipper. So I also wanted to mention that. But all in all, I think that this bag offers more pros than cons in my opinion. I'm sure you guys can probably tell, especially by the enormous smile on my face whenever I do talk about the Antigona. But this leather is absolutely fantastic. And even though I might not be the biggest fan of this strap, there have been times that I have used it whenever I need to be hands-free. And it's not bad, but I think the reason why I'm not too fond of it is because the length that it has, given with these handles, they're pretty much stationary in a sense. So when I do put it on my shoulder, sometimes these handles end up hitting right on my chest. Let me just show you guys really quickly. And that I'm not really too fond of. No. Give me one moment. Hang on. All right. So when I have it like so, they hit right there, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't really like it, It's not too bad, but sometimes it's not the most comfortable. So that's why I do prefer to use it this way. Or if I do add a different chain on here, or I'll add a chain, it has a little bit more length because it just makes it a lot easier for me. But yeah, this bag is still going strong. And like I said, it might not be in heavy rotation anymore, but when I use it, I grin like an idiot from ear to ear whenever I do use it. But look at that. It is worn fabulously over the years, and it's incredible. But this chunky zipper is my absolute favorite. So do I still recommend the Antigona? I do. There are some things that can get in the way whenever you go to use it, as far as the handles or the zipper might be a little bit, it might not be the most user-friendly in some aspects, but still I think that the bag offers quite a bit. Moving on to the Louis Vuitton Nice Nano in the monogram canvas. I've had this item for almost 3 years, and when I first saw it, I fell in love with it. It's stupid cute. I mean, I can't deny it. I think it's absolutely adorable. At the same time, I was a little bit apprehensive about it because I thought, okay, what the hell am I going to use this for? It's really small. I have other SLGs that I can use in the same capacity. I don't really want to use it as a handbag. I know some people use it as a handbag, but I've learned my lesson when it comes to vanities, regardless of the size. I can't really do them justice as a handbag. So I thought maybe I can use it as a small leather good. I can incorporate it this way. I can incorporate it that way. And as I said, I have other SLGs that I can use in the same capacity, but I also like variety. I like pulling out different things out of my bag and saying, oh, I'm using it this way, I'm using it that way, you know what I mean? Versatility to me is such a key thing when it comes to luxury goods. But anywho, this has been one of my most used SLGs in my larger totes especially, and I love to use this as a catch-all, as a cosmetics case. This is perfect because obviously you do have that zippered closure, but I can fit all of the lipsticks that I need to carry in here. It fits my lotion, it fits perfume, it fits my mirrors, what have you. If I wanted to use it as a catch-all with other things that I carry inside of my bag, I have that option as well. And like I said before, it's stupid cute. So for me, this is a major, major win. The price has gone up quite a bit because I paid, 3 years ago, I paid $720. I do believe that now they're $1,000. So it is pretty pricey, but again, the way that I incorporate it, it is an item that the cost per wear is insanely low on this. But I love using it as a cosmetics case, especially because it does have the wipeable interior. So if you do get a lipstick stain on here, or not a stain, if you do get lipstick on here, if you do get any type of powder, or if you, whatever it is, it's so easy to clean up, and I think it's wonderful. Plus, it's just an open compartment. There are no side pockets, there are nothing like that. And it's so easy to use, you know? So I am such a fan of this as a catch-all or as a cosmetics case, and it definitely works. But let me do a really quick, well, do I have to do a tour? Probably not. You guys saw the whole thing. It's not like it's this massive SLG, right? But on the front side, obviously you have the zippered closure. You do have the little top handle here. There's a side view, back view, side view on the bottom. You don't have any feet, yeah, no problems with pop stitches, no problems with the zipper. Everything has held up very, very nicely, and I love these little pouches. I'm just a sucker for pouches. Like, can I be completely honest with you? I don't know what it is about pouches. I'm also the type of person that's obsessed with boxes. I don't know what my deal is. I feel like such a pack rat, but I love boxes and pouches, and I don't know, man, all right? But all I know is that I absolutely love them. But this guy is wonderful, and I haven't had any problems with the creasing on the canvas either, just because it is a little bit softer. It's not very stiff, so because of the way that you open it up, as I said, you don't have, or I haven't experienced any type of funky wrinkles on the canvas or any type of cracking or anything like that. Yeah, I love this little guy. I absolutely love it. I use this way more than I use my Nice BB, because that one I mostly end up using for travel. But this guy is like, whenever I have a big bag, especially an open tote, and I want something for my cosmetics or as a catch-all, this is like almost immediately the one that I end up reaching for. So I'm a huge, huge fan of the Louis Vuitton Nice Nano, yeah. Now the last bag, I purposely left it for the end because it is a handbag that I have talked about so much over the last couple of years, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a break, but I of course am talking about the Marc Jacobs, the tote bag in the mini size. I have it in the pink, which is called the Morning Glory. This color has since been discontinued, and I also have it in the red, which is called the True Red, and this guy is still available. I do have other the tote bags in my collection, but for today's video, I'm just going going to stick to the minis. But I get a lot of questions. Do I still like this bag? Do I still use these bags? Do I still recommend them? Yes, yes, yes. I think that these are fantastic. I love the quality of leather that you're getting, especially for the price point. They don't break the bank. They offer so incredibly much. I feel like this bag gives you so much bang for your buck. And I know so many people disagree with me, and that's totally fine. But I mean, I think that they are absolutely fantastic. And I also like them because let's say that you are a person that, you have a lot of neutrals in your collection. You have a lot of brown bags, you have a lot of black bags, and maybe you want to venture into color and you want a bag that still has really great quality, but you also don't want to spend a fortune on a color bag just in case it might not work out the way that you think. Going for something like this, I think, is absolutely fantastic. It's a great way to kind of get your feet wet, you know, and see how you feel about color within your collection. So I am a huge fan. Like, I mean, I don't even think I could put into words how wonderful I think that these bags are. But let me give you a really quick tour of it. So on the front side, you just have the tote bag in large letters and Marc Jacobs. I don't think that they're necessarily too in your face. I like it when you do have like the pink background with the pink bag, or the whatever color it is on the lettering, that it doesn't have such a stark contrast. On the side, you also have this little leather strap that you can use to hold your sunglasses or for scarves, and it also ends up housing the magnetic end for the zipper. There is a back view on the back. It doesn't have any exterior pockets. It has one little tag that says the Marc Jacobs style tote bag, location NYC, year 1984. There is another side view. On the bottom, it doesn't have any feet, and on the top, you do have a zippered closure that opens up like so. And on the inside, you have one slip pocket here, right there, and then this guy that says Marc Jacobs, or that says, yeah, the Marc Jacobs. It's actually kind of like a little card holder, and there are no other side pockets on this, and this one is leather lined. Now this bag also comes with a removable adjustable strap. I don't use either of those straps, so I actually don't house the strap in here when I go to store the bag. I actually have it in a separate box, but it does come with a removable adjustable strap. And here are the little D-rings. They are hidden on the inside instead of on the outside, like some bags might end up having. But there's that one, and this one is exactly the same. And let me just show you the interior of this one, because I think it's pretty cool that you have this beautiful red on the exterior, and then it's pink on the inside, and the pink one is pink on the exterior and red on the interior. So it's like a perfect match when it comes to these two bags. But I just think that they are absolutely wonderful. Like I said, I've had this one for a little over a year, and it's been going strong. I have had zero issues when it comes to wear and tear. No problems with any type of color transfer either. No pop stitches, no gnarly wrinkling on the leather, nothing like that. I don't use organizers in here. I know that some people have said that if you get an organizer for a Speedy 25, that size organizer fits in here quite nicely. So I just wanted to share that just in case you're looking to get an organizer for this bag. But I don't really like to use an organizer. I think that it has, it stays in the upright position. It doesn't turn into a beautiful mess. So for me, organizers are mostly used to keep the shape of the bag, but I just like the open compartment. I love how spacious it is. You can see everything at a glance. You don't have to worry, oh, it's too tiny, it's a restricting opening or anything along those lines. And if you do want that added security, you have a zip closure. I think that's absolutely wonderful. But this one has been holding up insanely well. And I know that they have released a few other pinks along the way, but this one is still definitely my favorite. Now, as far as the red one, this one definitely has the deeper, more prominent pebbles. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera. So this one, the pebbles are a little bit more noticeable, whereas on the pink one, they seem to be a little bit smoother. But with this one, as I said before, I've had it for about 2 years now, and I do have some wear and tear that is a little bit noticeable. I do have some darker spots along the bottom just from setting it down. Right there, it's not too bad. It hasn't broken like the leather. It hasn't come through. It doesn't have any type of pilling or any type of funky wear marks, but you will see the darker corners there. And also these little D-rings, because the D-rings are on the inside. I have used this bag with the strap attached to it, and because of that, with the weight of the D-ring and the weight of the strap, it has kind of made this little indentation. I am able to kind of prop this open and have the wing, if you will, be completely out, but otherwise it ends up just kind of going right back to that. Again, just because of the weight that this has had. I do have some pop stitches. I have a pop stitch right here and another one right there. Otherwise, it's not too bad. Again, for what this bag has seen, I think it is worn very nicely, and the color, I think the color is beautiful because it is legit a true red. It's not like orangey red. It doesn't have this funky undertone. It is a beautiful red bag, and the color that you guys are seeing on camera is the true color that this bag has. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I also wanted to compare the micro very quickly while I have it out here, just so you guys have a size reference. So the micro, I think is great for like every day as well. Obviously it doesn't fit as much, but you guys have heard me refer to the mini as like my Goldilocks bag because it fits everything that I need and then some. It's very comfortable to use. It's very easy to use for extended periods of time. And while I don't use the adjustable leather strap that it comes with, I do prefer to use a chain just to give it a different look. But I like to hand carry it. I like to put it on the crook of my arm. And if I do fill this bag to the brim, it is not heavy. It doesn't leave marks along my skin, on my arm, or anything like that. So I think that's absolutely wonderful. So I mean, I can go on and on and on about these bags. I'm not going to because I have talked about them enough. But can I just say one more thing? I saw this bag. They released it. It's a seasonal color in the yellow. Oh my God. That yellow is gorgeous. I'm trying so hard to say no to it, but yeah. So far I've been successful in saying no to it, but it is absolutely gorgeous. So as I said before, do I still recommend it? Do I still think it's worth it? Absolutely 100%. This is an awesome bag, and the quality that you're getting is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. But anywho, that does it for this The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope I was able to give you a little bit more information, especially if you're looking to add any of these items to your collection. But again, let me know if you guys like the whole handbag tour, because I do that when I do unboxings or when I do reviews. But this is kind of like a little recap without going too far into, without going too much into depth on them. But anywho, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in my next one. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day.